nothing feels the same. Margins bleed like oil, my listings disappear. AI scans my soul, whispering in my ear. Silicon shadows taking control.
All right, welcome to the show. That's for Dave. Hey, Todd, you should, as much hell as I give you, you should feel at a place of honor right now.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get my freaking boots on because the shit's getting deep first thing.
So Dave is making a picture because we're just going to make the Friday night about like the one that's coming up this week. Ask anything and drink everything.
Oh boy.
And AI, he had a picture. He had AI make me and him laughing. And you're in the picture.
Oh, there you go.
Trying to steal my beer. See you?
Yeah.
It's a little.
So see Todd. So when y'all look at the thumbnail, y'all got to realize there are 3 people in this thumbnail. Dave's like, that was the hardest thing to get AI to add a hand coming in there.
Dave.
So yeah, I gotta add that to Friday nights thing. So I hope everybody's doing well this week.
You have to be able to subscribe to something to make pictures like that.
Chat GPT gives you the weaker version if you don't pay the $20 a month, and they only give you a few a day that they'll generate. He pays the $20, so that don't bother him. All right, so
if you don't pay the $20, you're missing out on your learning experience with AI because it gives you so much more deep understanding of what's going on with AI.
Glenn, good morning. Derek, good morning. Who else?
I should subscribe to that with my gambling winnings.
Mr. David, Flip It Good. Anissa, good morning. John's favorite person on the planet, Lag. John, good morning. Southern Vermont. Marcia, what's up this morning?
Can't we block it or something?
Craig, Brian, what's up? George Picker, JT, Ping, Monkey, we are at. It's who knows what we're going to talk about today. I've made some videos. Were y'all shocked that I've already released 2 videos this week? Tamara Lynn, good morning.
Let's start with numbnuts, land shark pickers comment.
His comments are just made to be trolls
about the AI
He's completely troll.
and promoted listings. I got to tell you, I've always been a big fan of it. What I can tell
I'll be real fucking gentle.
What I can tell you is, with promoted listings, search is working different in the last 30 days.
Yes.
And it is AI driven based on the information you put in the listings. I don't know about eBay. I've been off eBay since January 1st.
eBay has changed too.
Amazon, I have to spend $300 a day on advertising. I'm spending $50 a day and getting the same results. My sales are down, but everybody's sales are down by 10 to 15% across the board because of a market shift. But when it comes to promoted listings, it's more about what information you put in your listing than how much you're advertising. A lot of my searches are coming from Google and AI more than promoted listings.
Yeah, so interesting. So I was watching Primo. He'll be on this afternoon at noon. If y'all don't know who he is, this is Primo here.
Use that properly.
He looks strangely.
He said it was very interesting that he had been trying something out. So if in the model of those or stuff, John. So So like I sold a Sony camera. It's a whatever DSC dot dot dot. He said if you just put like in the title and other places, you just put DSC dot dot dot. Normally the search will pick it up and everything. He said, but they have geared their search. Whoever is the people that. Okay, so most of the time, a lot of times these are not resellers. These are people. He said your results are much greater if you put Sony, the manufacturer, and then the model number, because of the way these search engines are now set up. He said it's amazing. The
Word order matters.
yeah the order and the form of it, but it's looking for the manufacturer first, and then the model number. So even in your item descriptions, and I hope Josh is listening. I don't know, but their program when it makes these listings it really needs to include um, the manufacturer's name with the model number. Uh, it is Amazon does stuff for me too. I sold one thing yesterday, um, but it's and a lot of it's going to be trial and error unless you're willing to do some things like that to figure out what it's looking for. You can sit around and go, oh my. See, that's the problem I have with all the people that do bulk relist. You know, they'll just I'm doing a nuclear reset because it's going to be any better. But if you don't figure out and change things, it doesn't do you a bit of good because you never figured out why it didn't sell the first time. And just start it over. Oh, but I got the new item listing bump. I know, but you had it the last time, and every time you've done that. Jen, good morning. John, the automator, good morning. Um, and so it changes where I have to, because I'm normally one that won't put. I'm like, I just need a model number. I'm one that needs to change the way I think, and I need to put that manufacturer's name with it. Um, it also makes me wonder about this kind of stuff too, with these kind of things. Um, if you need to put who's with it, um, I don't know. I need to do some thinking about how it affects this kind of stuff. Um, yeah, Tamara lands in men's cargo pants. I mean, it is looking for most of these search engines are looking for a name brand, whoever that is, very first thing in the list. Very first keyword order matters, keywords matter. Titles are that specific. Okay, so will you be if you put lands in the middle, men's cargo pants lands in, it'll find it, but you're not optimized for its optimization, and so you
It's
wonder.
not going to find you. It's not going to put you near the top. You're
Yeah,
going to be further because it's a combination of the words. It's not an exact match. They start with AI. They're starting with an exact match now. Lands and
and you're starting at what like 100, John, and if it doesn't have the title, you're now a 90. But
right.
then they pick it up, maybe you're a 92, but the person that got it right's in front of you because they were 100 because they did. It's a percentage score based on if they found what they're looking for. I think is that what you think too?
Yeah, absolutely. It's being proven over and over again in the Millionaires Group that AI search is more valuable at this point than promoted listings or PPC on Amazon.
Hey, Kevin, didn't you just walk in here late talking about showing up late? That's rich, dude.
I uh,
We
I
were
mean,
actually on time.
to give
I'm
you an
sorry.
idea, in
Sorry,
April
sorry.
I spent $8,800 in advertising. So
Right.
far this month I've spent 15.
You said 50?
15.
Oh, 15. Oh, 15. Okay.
1,500. I've cut my spending by $6,500.
Is it because are you more effective with it or just not willing to pay?
Um, I was paying for sales that AI was getting me,
Okay.
and it's because I spent so much time. I started in January with writing my listings with AI. You know, a title is a perfect example. Remember, we used to keyword stuff it. Now my titles are 30, 40, 50 characters at the top. I'm giving you what I would use as a search term and it's just doing well. It's doing extremely well.
So it happened again in that last video. Somebody pointed out in one of my videos that you can hear somebody say hello in it. That's like the third time that I've made videos in this building that there's been a sound that's not. I haven't heard, but people have gone, "Hey, wait a minute, did you hear that in the video?" Um, you know, the person before us who had this property, he built this house in this neighborhood. He died in this house, so.
Yeah, Scott framed the gunshot hole.
So
No, he was
I've seen it.
Apparently didn't.
he was an engineer, worked for Brown Teledyne. Everybody's heard of Brown Teledyne. He went on vacation and was sitting in an easy chair, and they don't know if he had a heart attack or he had whatever it was. He couldn't use one side of his arm, one side of his. So
get out.
I think it just said hello. I think I haven't gone back and listened to it yet, but they said it said hello. Yeah, that's the third time now.
Well, you know, all the Ghost Hunter TV shows, they always hear voices when they're playing back their videos.
I saw Bigfoot going behind you the one day.
Hey, Spirit. Most people run you off. I say party on, dude. Let's go.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again.
Who's asking Siri things?
I never said her name. I said, "Hey, Spirit."
Oh.
That's the best you got, Craig? Maybe you need a Snickers this morning, Craig. That's the best you got.
Yeah, right.
Chastity, good morning. Did you watch the video yesterday, Chastity? I know you would love these guys. So if y'all didn't watch it, go watch it yesterday. I'm gonna start putting out lots of videos during the weeks when I'm just me doing stuff like I'm trying to be just like Kevin Commonwealth Picker. So I picked these guys up for $1, 50 cents each. They're worth $187.
Are those booze?
Yes. The cat's
Big
worth
ass
150. The fox is worth 38.
I have to go through the ones I already have. Maybe I got something up there.
See, I knew the cats because the cats are harder to find. So I knew the cat was decent. I didn't expect 150. And when I knew the fox, I've sold the fox before, but I sold him in the mid-20s. He's up to 37 now.
Even used, huh? Well, he's got his tag. So do you sell that as new or?
Yeah. Okay. You keep saying that, Kevin. They don't sell. That's the problem, and that was the rant I was on in the video. I captured myself in full rant mode, sounding like a preacher.
It was kind of
a
good rant.
You can't make blanket statements about things don't sell, because I can tell you right now, if I'm at a yard sale and there's a bucket of Beanie Babies and me and Tyree are there, we're gonna knock each other down trying to get who gets to buy the bucket, because at Van Massey you sell them in lots and you can make decent money.
There's a certain plush I sell and whatnot on my plush shows that you would not think. I mean, there's a collector's market for them, but some of them are worth quite a bit of money.
But these later ones, the Alvin monks, or certain any of the ones that are like the boos are they have been, since I've been doing this, they've had value. Me and my brother have sold them. I mean, we've bought them because Rite Aid sells them, or well, they used to Rite Aid. Yeah, what's Rite Aid? People are going to start saying that. What beer? What are you talking about? What the hell? Rite Aid? But we have sold so many of them.
We can openly speak about Rite Aid now.
The ones with the big eyes that call boos, those are the ones. The other ones, not as much. But Steve said that even when he's selling plush on whatnot, people are asking for the older ones. So
just if you're on whatnot and you're selling plush, listen to your audience and start picking that stuff up. That's what I do. Webkins, the older Beanie Babies, and Douglas are the three that they ask for the most.
Yeah, Webkins are. I've sold Webkins for stupid money.
And you can identify them because all the time they have that W on them. And if they have their code still, they're worth more.
If they still have their codes, they're really
But
up.
there's a flamingo out there that's worth quite a bit of money. I've found him a couple times, that kind of thing.
So it's just trust and verify when you're out, man. It's having 2 auctions now. Man, we look at everything at a yard sale. It's amazing how much stuff you can buy at a yard sale when you've got so many different avenues to get rid of it.
Is there another one besides Van Massey?
Whatnot.
Oh.
Thanks for playing, Tom. Go back to sleep.
We've been having internet problems all morning long.
If you only knew somebody who worked for that company who could help you out. She must not have the pool we think she does.
She's over there.
What's the whole West Coast or the whole East Coast of their company's gonna go down because she can't get to the numbers. But we're about to leave we're about to leave Xfinity. So we're expecting end of this week, early next week, for them to put flyers on all the doors for our fiber. They said they had to test each of the 148 houses to make sure they were all right. And once they did, they would start this. So the install, if you're going to install a bunch of houses, I mean, we'll be on the list somewhere. But
you should have been already on the list.
They ain't got a list yet, and they won't do it until complete because they can't make the appointment.
You'll be so much happier.
Even
though you may not notice a speed difference, you probably will. You sure should.
So we don't.
The biggest difference is it's going to go down.
Gigabit up. Like right now, the max I'll get is like 40 up max. And as the day goes, depending on like when people come home in the evening, the 40 up is now 18 to 20.
I don't have the high because there's different tiers of the fiber optic here, and I've got like the middle tier just because I don't need anymore.
We're running 600 down. 600 down is fine.
Yeah.
I need the upload speed.
I stream wirelessly all my streams, and I'm wireless right now, and I'm on fiber. It's really good.
I uploaded a 10-hour video. It took 18 hours to upload.
I know. And that probably wasn't 4K either, was it?
No.
Oh, my little phone works. I pulled it out of a box, one of these Razor phones. It's actually taking a charge.
What video? Grandma's Gone Wild, or?
Yeah, Grandma's Gone Wild.
And then
what the fuck's he saying?
I
picked these up the other day. These are never used. I think I paid $1 for them. And the brass.
I made a sale this week. Are those guys? Not these particular characters, but I don't know if you guys remember these army ants from the 80s.
For a while we had
I sold 3 of these for $40.
What? Like these blackout movies.
Set.
I mean, YouTube videos. It has only just sound like rain, whatnot. Roberta was streaming those. I said, hell, if you're going to stream it, I'll make one and you can stream it. So that's what it was. I thought that thing which I kicked it off at like 9 o'clock at night, and it was still uploading when I got up the next morning.
So when you originally bought these army ants, they came in sets of 3 or 5. This is the flamethrower set. But he had all his weapons. They all had their weapons and stuff. I got these out of the Goodwill bins. These are from the 80s. Anyway, I got a bunch more. I have to put the sets together. But if you sell them as complete sets, $40 for 3 little ants.
What do they look like again?
You never see the army ants from the 80s? Oh, sorry, my camera.
Looks like he's taking a poop.
See, that comes off.
We played outside then. We didn't have time for that.
But anyway, those 3 of them $40 if you have the weapons and stuff. I got those at the same time as Muscle Man and.
That one looks like he's farting fire.
Yeah.
But there's just a shift going on that right now, especially with AI changing things. The answer to your sales problems and these things are not as easy as they used to be. And promoting is not 100% the answer. Unless AI is set up correctly, it's not the answer.
That
You're gonna have to play around with some of these things to figure out.
what I'm learning is AI is going to help you improve. It's not going to take over. But if you don't learn, and part of the thing is you got to have the paid version because it has a bigger memory. There's so much that people don't understand about AI. You have to understand AI to start to understand what's going on these platforms.
Yeah, because I think it was I was watching a Monday or the live yesterday with his members only. But Primo was saying the same thing, that once you ask it a lot of the same questions, it starts remembering these things and it'll answer. It tailors its answer to you and what your situation is.
The other thing is as you change topics that you're asking it about, you need to use a fresh chat. If you don't use a fresh chat, what it does is it starts to fog or make its memory unclear. It starts to
Right.
use some of the memory in its answer. So you almost have to have a fresh chat when you change topics. And
Okay.
the one thing I do that most people don't think about is when I get it to do exactly what I want it to do, I ask it for a reboot script in text format.
Right.
It then almost creates a prompt for me.
Right.
And then I use that prompt the next time I want to do that. So, like, if I build the perfect listing prompt for eBay, I say, give me a reboot script in text format. And I copy that. And then when I go to a clean chat, I put that in and then ask it to do that task again. You have to understand, you got to think chat is a 2-year-old that can do one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give it too many small things to do, it gets confused.
So Craig, does that actually work? Asking ChatGPT to generate the best prompt, does that actually work?
I gave out a code the other day. I thought it was in here. Hold on, I got to look it up. I think it's Prompt Cowboy.
Yeah, Prompt Cowboy, you did.
Okay.
You get so many free ones, yeah.
Yep. And then I think it's free if you sign up. They just send you email. They send you junk mail to buy something. I don't know. I don't use it. You also need to learn how to ask it a question. You don't say, what's the weather today? You ask it, what's the best way to ask you what the weather is where I'm at today? You get it to generate the prompt for you.
Right.
Okay, and you're using ChatGPT to do what, or AI to do what? Write your listings?
Who, me?
The AI, all the AI conversation, other than
if you know my
the thing that Kevin or Josh is coming out with.
If you know my stores, most of my images are AI. I use a lot of AI in images. I use it in listings. I use it in ideas. Like I have a sale. I have a new product coming out July 1st. I told it what the product was, gave it an image of the product, said I need a store image. I want to advertise this as a new launch product. And it came up with a whole idea and script, and I sent that off to my graphic guy.
I'm going to practice being AI. Reseller Express says the other guy said his items are found through AI. What is his eBay name and on what platform? Who is the other guy? Who are you referring to?
I think he's talking about me.
Please be more specific. Thank you.
I think he's talking about me.
John, no, his name would be John.
Grumpy. You call me grumpy. It's right there.
Grumpy John, asshole.
We'll
Yeah,
call him the
sure.
other
I
guy.
didn't answer to anything except for late for dinner. Oh,
Bottom
Tom.
right. Oh, Tom.
Bottom right, you mean Tom? The one who looks like he's not with us?
I'm here. I was reading the chat.
He's
No,
in that
I'm just,
catatonic state again.
I, honest to God, I mean,
See,
I
he
can
can't
see
even
using
talk.
it to do speed listings through like Josh's thing, but by the time I do the Chat GPT, I can write a damn listing.
You know, if they
Because
would
I
come
don't
up,
write. I do not talk about the it's the orange. You know, the shirt is the color of the sunlight, early morning sunlight across the Atlantic Ocean. It's like this thing's orange. It's a
you
button
know,
down.
What
you
the
don't
hell's
say,
orange?
please help me make a listing for this shirt with a mustard stain. You don't say that
That's
either?
right. Absolutely. I mean, I just
Orange mustard stain.
because, like I've always said, when I'm looking on eBay for something, I'm looking for something specific, and I tell it exactly what I want. You
And,
know.
and your use of AI, the more specific you can be with your prompts, you'll get better answers more to what you're. Or the other thing is, it'll be so wrong, it'll teach you to ask it in a different way.
Yeah, by the time you do all of that, I can bullet point it and move on to the next one.
But will it be found, Tom?
If it's got all the pertinent information, it should be.
Just like you, your listings are fucking dinosaurs, dude.
Yeah, that's right. And and I also I'm like Todd. I just refuse to use promoted listings. No, I'm kidding. I do run promoted listings, but
I promote everything.
I just don't. You can tell the AI model.
You also have to understand that when AI first came out, everybody had to be flowery, and we tried this keyword stuff, and we did all these things. What I'm finding out right now is that you need the AI to act like a human, think like a human. How would I enter a search bar? What information would I put in it? If I'm looking for a pair of Levi's, I'm gonna put Levi's, my waist size, my length, and the color I'm looking for.
The worst things we can do is make listings from a reseller point of view. You know, all these anacronyms, we've talked about this over and over. EUC, very hard to find. If I'm looking for dog food, and even if it's not made anymore, I want something else, I'm not going to type in hard to find, HTF, discontinued. I'm not putting in any of that stuff. It's going to be who made it. It's going to be fruitable, blueberry, and pumpkin. It's not going to be, you're going to be specific with, and I think the titles are so important. That's why the first 5 words are so important, because it's picking up exactly. If I look for something, even if I don't put it manufacturer, I put exactly what item. I don't put any flowery descriptions. What was I looking for the other day? I was looking for something, and you just type in very simply that. All the rest of that stuff is just nonsense.
I just, like I said, when I'm shopping, I'm looking for a alloy cantilever level number 42786 because that's what my bike takes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I search for.
And the thing that used to frustrate me so much, and it still does about Amazon, and I hope they're getting better about it, is because Amazon allows all these people. So, like, I have a tape player over there. I need the rubber bands. I need the bands for it, a Sony.
Right.
I put in the Sony, the model number, and the belt. And it brings back power adapters, anything with that model number. And then you get to the belts like 8 or 9 down. I'm like, I specifically asked for one item in an order, and it can't. Like if I'm looking up a Blu-ray player to see what it's worth, I will type in Sony Blu-ray player, and that Blu-ray player will be behind 1 million remotes.
Try searching for a printer and see how many ink ads you get before you get the printer.
Even if you put the word printer in it, it still throws the ink first. When I never mentioned the word ink, why are you making so much importance on ink? Because they are paying to be in that listing farther up, and Amazon is hoard out their search so bad that they have made it difficult to their own detriment.
It's eBay too.
Joni's okay. So here's a great example with eBay. I am trying. Joni's only bought stuff because, damn it, Tom, this is the last time, and you're permanently banned if you do that.
If it kicks off again, I'm not coming back in.
Bad Tom.
I really don't care, but anyway,
and it's going again.
So the one thing she's like, how come somebody got $70 for this and somebody else got 10? I mean, first of all, they priced it wrong. That's an auction. So I'm having to explain to her like she's newer because she's never looked at eBay from the reseller side, and so, but she's like, how come I see that one and it's $80, but down the way it's $30? So I'm like, people pay for sponsored listings, and they pay for placement in search. So they think that if they're first in search, which it does work some, or they wouldn't keep doing it, they will get much higher money. So if they pay for higher placement, it's offset by the fees are offset by the amount of money they make. I said, never judge what you're doing by the first search return, especially because it'll be if you're looking for a comparative price, and never buy the first one because it's some sponsored listing usually of somebody who is crazy priced.
Mr. Sadie, go back and try this. Put in all the information you did, and after printer, put unit, UNIT.
With that, you think, does that tell the AI portion of the search to not bring back the ink?
What it's going to do, because you're leaving it open when you put printer.
Right.
AI can fill it with phrase match words, which is ink, and they're paying more for ink than they are the printer itself. So maybe if you put unit, it'll reduce the. And you're going to have to learn how to search different now than what we used to.
So JT, I'm not complaining. I'm just using it to explain. She can ask me all the questions. My wife being interested in reselling, I'll talk to her all day long about it. I'll help her. I'll do whatever, because eventually, except for the part about marrying me, she's really, really smart, and so she will level up very quickly. And so, John.
And then she'll start teaching you.
Man, she'll blow past here.
My wife found an item yesterday that I didn't even know was good, and she's a much newer reseller than I am.
So he said it made a difference. So let's try that. eBay.
I'll tell you, you were talking about, Joni being a new seller and having to teach her how to use the search. And I was at a yard sale the other day, and they were selling baseball cards. And they had looked up every single card, and there's hundreds. And they're putting prices of commons, like let's say this Bryce Harper card, for $17, $20 because they didn't know how to use eBay search. So I sat down with this lady and educated her on how to actually look up the cards correctly. And, she thanked me at the end. I only bought 2 cards from her, but she had a lot of good ones. I just didn't have a lot of money with me that
because
day.
This will scare the hell out of it. Y'all know I've done this by myself for a long time. Joni had a doctor's appointment yesterday. That's not the unusual part. She has lots of doctor's appointments. I get I'm at Saving Way. They have 2 Keurig carafes. Do you want me to buy them? My wife's at a thrift store by her damn self.
No way.
That's never happened. We've been together 38 years. That has never happened.
No, she never. Listen, I've been to the house. I've stayed at the house. No.
She sends me a picture of this, and she says, "What about this?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is. It's some kind of pottery." She said, "No, that's my find. It has some brand on the bottom of it. I looked it up. That brand sells from $50 to $100. It's some Italian pottery or something. I never would have looked at that.
You've unleashed a monster."
Joni wanted nothing to do with anything Scott did. I think if Scott went out and got a job flipping burgers, she'd have been happier.
And she also, so she asked me, and then I get on the phone, and she says, what about Club? I've seen you pick those up before. I'm like, yeah, I'll run through Van Massey if the price is cheap. Club is the aluminum potware from the 60s, 70s. I said, it's yellow, it's green, it's got okay value, but it's heavy to ship. And she said, what about white ones? I'm like, I've never seen white. She said, that's the only reason why I even mention it. It looks like the cornflower pattern on Corning. It's white with a blue floral print. And so I tried to look this up on eBay. There's freaking one. So she has found Club, which is it's okay. It sells. It's got a decent sell-through rate, probably 30%. We make money on it at the auction. But not only that, she's like, because I hadn't seen this color either. So she realizes that her kitchen knowledge and the stuff she's like, because her grandparents use that stuff, that it's a lot of. Before the show, I sent her a message, hey, follow this auction house because we're going to their auction. Look at all the stuff. And
oh my Lord, she was so excited about. I've never heard Joni get so excited about something when it comes to your reselling. Unless it's Corning, unless it's her Pyrex, Pyrex or whatever it is in that room.
She was looking that up last night too. But it's, and so here's what you do. We have a lot of estate sales. There's like 6 this week. I don't have time to look at all the stuff. But now that she's doing a lot of this stuff, she's like, well, how do you know where the estate sales are? I keep forgetting. I'm like, estatesales.net. Oh, they got an app. And so she's now downloaded the app, and she's like, okay, which estate sales companies do we like? And so she's looking at all these and making sure. So there's 2 estates we're going to tomorrow because they've got stuff that I'm like, they might be a little more expensive, but it's okay. Yeah. And
I get cut open.
Now she can help me with Van Massey because she's logged into my account and she's got a bunch of stuff watched. She's already bidding on 2 things on Van Massey for this week. It is, the transformation is amazing. Her ability to help me is going to level us up because it allows me to go, I need a list today. I need to list probably 20 items today to catch up for the last couple of days. And I'm not worried about what's on the estates tomorrow because she's going to tell me the 2 she wants to go to. I'm not worried about Van Massey because she's looked through all 3,000 items and she's marked like 14 of them. She's bidding on 2 of them. I search my keywords, cameras, computers. I search my keywords, and then I moved on. Whereas she's looked at every item. It's
nice to see her excited. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But it does. Somebody was saying it does. JT was like, whenever you have to explain, the interesting thing is when you deal with somebody who is new at seeing something, they ask you questions because they've never done. They ask the most amazing questions, and you sometimes you just sit back and go, I don't know, I never thought about it that way, because they look at it with fresh eyes that you don't have the ability to look at something with fresh eyes anymore, and so that's why. American Honey, that does work. It works really good with books and CDs and stuff. If you look at it and can come up with a good prompt telling ChatGPT, are any of the books in this picture at a sold price on eBay of more than $20, and it should be able to tell you.
I haven't had as much luck with it as other people. I've tried a couple times this week, but I don't know what prompt to give it either.
Do you use the regular one or the paid one?
Right now, I'm only on the regular, and it's just giving me bad information. So
I think the paid.
I'll have to. I definitely want to try to use the paid version.
And so the other thing too, JT, especially with Joni being excited about some of these stuff, it's given me a renewed sense of optimism and a lot of fresh energy and desire to even do more because excited to that she can help me move and accomplish things. It's a win-win all the way around. My mother still has a heart. Y'all think y'all have John is shocked. We lived across the street from mother for what 12, 14 years, whatever the hell it was. I told mother was like, "You got to be effing kidding me." I'm like, "I'm not effing kidding you."
Yeah, but the other thing is it gives her something to get up for.
Yep.
Um, not not that Joni was lazy or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is now she has a reason to get up and go,
Yep.
a purpose that gives her excitement.
Yep.
The same with Marcia. She when she first started, she wanted to do it her own way. You know, she has that was me by the way. She has her own eBay. She has, and she wanted to feel like she's contributing. You know, instead of just sitting around doing nothing. Even though she was out there helping me buy things, you know, she wanted to feel like she was contributing to the bills at the time. Now that
She's better at it than you are now. But okay, better is a
She is
different.
sometimes. She sells more than I do. I
But
usually
she sells
make more.
different. She sells way different than you, Steve. The
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that
Totally
the stuff
different.
that you would never look at, she's good at.
Steady.
Yes,
She
totally
works
different.
steady.
Yeah.
She's a
Totally
steady.
different.
She's a steady, like small.
These army ants, she would care less about these things. She wouldn't, even if now that she knows she might pick them up and she'll point them out to me, but she has no desire to sell that stuff. She wants to sell what she wants to sell, and she wants to, you know, feel like she's contributing to the income of the house. And when we were going through that big, you know, debt issue, people said, well, why aren't you guys combined with your eBay store? Because she doesn't feel like she's contributing if it's one store, you know. That's why. And
See,
she just wanted to have her
Joni
own.
wanted her own whatnot, and that was what she originally thought. But y'all got to realize she's had 18 surgeries in the last 38 years. She is medically disabled from work. She can't draw. She can't have any income. And so if she wants to go piddle around on my account, let it come through my name. So
That makes
that's one of the
sense.
major reasons why you
That
don't
makes
see,
sense. Okay.
even though she's got her own whatnot buyer account and everything, you don't see her selling under her name.
I was wondering what the reason
It's got to
was.
come to the business, which is through me.
It's the same thing why I closed eBay. eBay was in Lori's name, and she's eligible for Social Security, and she can't have any. We got to watch how much income she has on a yearly basis. So I closed the store on the first of the year because she's going to start collecting Social Security. Yeah, we're getting old.
See, Reseller Express is saying he's been using ChatGPT. He or she's been using ChatGPT for 2 years. It knows I do Amazon. Once you start paying for it, John, does it keep that kind of memory? Is that what? Once you've got an account, it associates you, so it can. Okay.
Yeah, it gets to know you as a personality.
Right.
Like I cuss at it, it cusses back at me. I called it a fucking idiot yesterday because it just pissed me off.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go and start doing that. Because I don't use it at all, and I need to get some benefit out of it. I've got other things that I'm gonna cut back on. Like I don't think
I've thought about doing a show like this once a week
right
about how I use chat in my reselling business.
because I don't. As much as I've screamed repricers through the years, my Amazon account doesn't really need a refresher anymore. It just doesn't. I have so few. I have so few listings. Maybe that's the thing to do.
You could downgrade to like Be Cool or something. It's cheaper.
You know, you have to look at what changes are being made and what advantages you get. I was watching a thing, Alex Hormozy this morning, and he was talking about instead of saving $500, take that $500 and invest it in a skill that you can make more money with over the next 10 years.
Right.
Well, AI is something that you're going to have to invest in.
And you're going to have to learn.
There's going to be all kinds of free versions out there. The problem is you're not going to get what's available with AI. you're not going to get all the benefits. And I don't know that you can skate by with free if you're using it on a business level.
Right.
All right, now I blinked. What the hell?
Yeah, you didn't leave though.
My whole screen went black. That was unusual.
Yeah, Jesse, I know. I haven't used it enough to really get the benefits from it. I use it for silly things like making pictures
But
and stuff like that.
Resell Express found you through the Monopoly game. But that wasn't the only thing we've ever done that was $1,500 in a single day.
Mask blew it away. Face mask blew it away.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, remember my hair curlers?
Yeah.
Those silly things. I couldn't believe it because you can't give those things away normally. But you made a lot of money on them.
Face mask. You would go from store to store, and they'd be sold almost in the parking lot. They were Chinese. They were shipping these things out of the country. They were.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing how fast there was. I mean,
I had an Amazon listing, and before I left the store, how many ever I picked up before I even paid for them, I just added the quantity.
Do you remember when we had that small little chat in Facebook, and we would do Walgreens at Christmas? We'd be on the phone. 3-4 hours at a time.
There was so much to buy at Walgreens back in 16, 17, and they were matching points and all this crazy shit they were doing.
We made so much money in a day. Remember, I got that box truck and did a live video.
I filled the trailer up in a day.
I filled a box truck.
Yeah, people don't understand how much you got to buy when managers are bringing baskets, and we're both carrying out 3, 4, 5, 6 baskets at the Walgreens. My trailer out there will hold 45 large Lowe's boxes and fill it in a day.
I spent $40,000 at Walgreens in a weekend. I had people behind me.
John, the automator, check the tape. If you're going to upgrade your business, a tape machine. I can't recommend a tape machine enough.
It's the one thing I don't have in my company.
I love my tape machine.
I got shrink wrap machines. I got freaking all kinds of machines. I don't have a tape machine. And I've offered to buy him one, and he says, no, I don't want one.
I still use regular tape once in a while, but paper, if I'm using a used box, it has tape on it.
I use tape. Most of the time I'm using regular tape, it's on bubble wrap.
Yeah, that too.
Like tape and bubble wrap, so things, when I pack it.
Well, you also have to understand, we ship out. We run out of a 3-car garage, and all my inventory goes through a 3-car garage. So he doesn't have the space for a tape machine.
Mine sits right up here on this rack.
Bill says he has 3M cartridge. It was amazing where you could find a face mask.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Well, the only thing I sold during the pandemic, and you're all going to laugh at me, was I sold 6 quarts of shelf-stable milk because it fit perfectly in a medium box. And as fast as I could buy it, they were sold on Amazon. I paid whatever it was, and I made.
I know where you were getting them. I know what you paid for them.
No, you don't. I was getting them out. I was out here getting them at the 99-cent store.
Right. Well, $1. Yeah, you're paying $1.
Yeah. Well, this is the 99, but I didn't get them at Dollar Tree. I got them at the 99-cent store.
The Dollar Tree stuff was selling too. I didn't sell much of it, but some.
Well, I was going in clearing the shelf. They'd have 100 quarts.
Paint stores were the best for the masks because people didn't think about that.
Yeah, we get a lot of Sherwin.
But so were like Family Dollars,
and
places
auto parts places too.
It didn't matter what kind of mask you were buying. We were buying the Dollar Tree 7 or 10 masks in the thing, and they were $1, and they were selling for like $15. So it didn't matter what mask you were buying at that time; they all sold. And then when it ended, we donated them all, every single one of them.
Around here, we had
That's what I did too.
around here where we were during the pandemic. We had nothing. Scott's been there. The deserts of Arizona. Now I'm in the frickin' oil fields of Texas.
You're in the gold mine. All them
Yeah.
small towns.
My wife says, I compromised. I gave up a walk-in closet. I said, fuck, I gave up a whole state. Never thought I'd frickin' live in Texas. Even worse, I never thought I'd die in Texas and be buried here.
Well, that hasn't happened yet, so maybe that'll change.
I doubt it. It's the perfect house for my wife, so.
It's a good price on that house, considering. I mean, I looked at what you posted at something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
I have one problem. The inspector found one problem. The sunroof had rot in the walls. And I was willing to walk away from it. And the guy said he'll tear the whole thing apart and rebuild it. And I was like, okay.
We had that issue, not a sunroof, but there was a couple things when I made the deal on this house. I'm like, if that's not fixed, we're not buying it. But they fixed them.
Well, this is definitely a house that was being flipped. The guy bought it cheap and flipped it. But he did it right. I mean, there's some things that I would have done different, but he did it right. He cheaped out on a couple of things, like he didn't put in a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
He replaced all the appliances and left the stove dirty. He didn't clean the stove.
This is the first.
Steve, what was the deal breaker? If you don't paint the whole house green, we're not buying it.
Here, yes. I should have made them paint it because that was a lot of work, man. Painting almost every room in this house green took a long time, and a lot of paint. We buying it.
And a lot of puke, man.
Bucket.
How many times you throw up?
Yeah, I like green. This room is not green yet. But.
Yet.
And my son's old room upstairs isn't green. Everything else is. He wanted it like a burnt orange. It's a really nice color. He wanted anything but green. And her son, his room used to be baby blue because he wanted anything but green. They both
Does anyone have
black.
Shopify? The only person I know that does Shopify is Josh.
Shop a what?
Shopify doesn't work as much for the one-off. John should probably be with Shopify. He'd probably sell even.
I had a Shopify store for a short time.
So much that I had a discussion with a guy that does $1 million a month in sales, and I'm like, yeah, I could too, but you know what? I enjoy my life. My wife doesn't have the excitement like Joni has right now. If she had the excitement in my business, I'd probably build bigger.
But you're also
not a lot of opportunities.
You're not at a building stage either. You're at a.
I'm 60.
You're not 60.
I'm John. Grumpy is John.
I'm Steve. Grumpy is not Steve. I'll be right back.
I'm not 60 yet. I'll be 60 in February. I'm 59 and a half.
Does that help?
I guess. I guess the guy has a girl, guy, whatever. I hope I offended you, whatever. It's doesn't watch the show. I'm Steve as well. Okay. It's a guy. Maybe it's a girl trying to be a guy. I don't know.
I don't know. We're not
We
going
are
to.
2025.
Yeah, that Shopify for me is because I do so many one-offs. It would be much harder.
new Shopify if I was doing one-offs.
Yeah, so that's
And you have to understand my product. I work directly with the manufacturers, and they want me to move volume. They don't want me to move. They want me to leave the scraps for everybody else. I'm not. They don't want me. They don't want me picking up the onesies, twosies. They want me. What can we do to make this product sell 1,000 times? So
right. It makes sense from their point of view because that's where their manufacturers of scale and everything are.
now, mind you, if nobody else is on it, they want me on it. But if somebody jumps on it and tries to cut me a few pennies, he's like, just drop it. He doesn't. I don't need to mess around with the one-offs, the small sellers.
They'll be gone fast enough, and they'll be out of your way. You'll be right
And
back.
it's a gated product. We just found out yesterday it's gated. You have to apply, and it says we're not accepting applications.
That's a good
I'm
thing.
I'm not sure how that happened.
Amazon's playing games with. I just wonder, is because you're such a lockdown supplier and you never run out.
I think that might be it.
Because the one thing Amazon wants is to know that a product's going to be available and you're always going to have it and you're never, you know what I mean? They keep track of all that stuff.
Amazon's easy to take out of a market. When they're on a product and you want to be the seller of that product, it's very easy to get them off of that product. Just ship in a ton. If you ship in a ton, they'll back off quickly because they do not want to invest their capital into inventory.
Unless, except for brands and stuff that they've got deals with, that their name's there, but they're selling like a Nike or something like that. I don't think they back off of the major brands.
Harbor Hopes, I'm 6 hours from you. That's Ron, isn't it?
Yeah, Ron, he's in Austin.
Yeah. No, I think I'm 4 hours from there. I'm in the middle of the frickin' oil fields, dude. I'm in Abilene. The only thing here is oil and the frickin' Air Force Base.
And sweat.
Oh. I ain't never had so much water dripping from my butt crack.
Ew.
Steve, did I see that the evil Facebook tell me it was Sean's birthday today? Since Sean doesn't speak, tell him happy birthday.
Thrifting Bro says burnout is hurting his business. Yeah, my business is. I wouldn't call it burnout as much as it's more of being stable through this crazy freaking world, man. This world has gone to batshit crazy. And I'm just tired of fighting. I'm focusing on a different line in my P&L. That's a big thing I've done this year. And a lot of people that follow me on Facebook know that it's I'm focusing on profit, not top line revenue. I think I think we're still not there. I know that. Listen, the one thing about Trump is he does not always tell you what's going on. He put these 90-day pauses on these tariffs. The clock's ticking down. It's next month, and then we're going to find out. I know I was in. What surprised me was I was in Hobby Lobby. They're stacked to the frickin' ceiling with Christmas. So when these tariffs were starting to come out, they brought in boatloads and they stuck it in the store because they don't have warehouse space. And the stores piled it, going to a Hobby Lobby, and they got Christmas out right now.
Well, Amazon did the same thing. That's the reason why they cut your storage in half twice, folks. It isn't because there's any conspiracy. They needed their own warehouses because they were trying to beat tariffs, and they ordered so much of their own private label brand shit that they needed somewhere to put it. And so it's easier to say, "Hey,
I think you're sadly mistaken about what Trump is capable of doing. I think the man is much smarter than most people give him credit for, both on the right and left. I think he has a plan, and he's going to let you think that he's going to pause him again, and you're going to find out he's done playing and just say, okay, I'm done. He did it with Iran. Iran should be a warning for everybody. He said, I'm giving them 2 weeks. I'm giving them 2 weeks. He sent a bunch of freaking people west. You all looked west, and where did he go? He went freaking east and dropped a shitload of bombs on them. And then when they screwed up and both of them fired, he called them both out on TV. Fucking idiots.
and dropping F-bombs on them."
It's not the guy you way under. You don't give him enough credit for what he knows, what his intelligence is. These tariffs, if you go back and look, started in, I think it was 2009 was the earliest that I found him talking about tariffs and how they should be in place on this on China.
I mean, let's see how many tariffs. Whenever they stole the election and put the sleepy in there, whoever was pulling the trigger, how many tariffs did they remove? They didn't.
And you have to understand, I am not a Trump supporter. I'm not going to grandstand for Trump. I just think the world is not giving him enough credit for what he is capable of doing. I think the man is much smarter than what the world is giving him credit for.
So I didn't worry about when he dropped bombs on Iran. I didn't worry about it because you can go back into the 80s and see him talk about no wars, nobody dying, that kind of stuff. He's never wavered on that. He's been against war since the 80s. He has mentioned that same thing, that people need to stop dying. People, the people that die are the ones that have nothing in this game, and that's war is awful because of that. He's never changed. He attacked Iran, and did they very little loss of life. They're not reporting hardly anything other than their facilities were empty. They'd already emptied out their facilities. You see where Iran called and wanted to save face and said, "Hey, we're gonna shoot some missiles at you here."
No, I honestly I did not pay attention, other than them getting in and out without being fired on at all. I didn't really pay attention to it. Once I knew that we were in and out and dropped, what was it, 30 some bombs on them, I was like, nah, this is over.
Yeah, I think my favorite picture related to some of that is somebody had a picture of two B2s with their escorts flying above their house or whatever, and they say, you're in trouble when Minecraft is coming to attack you, because they got those funky shapes.
I was out here yesterday, and they are preparing for something in this country. I mean, they're not downplaying what's possible. They had the fighter jets fly over. We had B-52, not B-52. We had the supply planes flying over. And then in the middle of the landing in the afternoon when they're done, there was all these little small, funny-looking aircraft that are not part of our fleet. So they were out practicing on enemy with enemy aircraft out here in the oil fields of nowheres.
Is this battery functional at all? That'd be a negative.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a snake. I think he knows how to play a deceptive game.
Thrifting Brothers, no, for sure. What little bit of RA I've tried to do, it is difficult for sure.
That it, and I don't think that he wants to hurt the small sellers. I don't think that's everybody's he's hurting the small seller. No, I don't think that's his. I don't think that's his plan. I think he's got much bigger goals in mind, and you are.
Everybody sees it through their own personal experience lens, which is rarely do we look at the big picture.
Listen, I believed him. I believed him that he was going to bring tariffs. So when he won the vote, I ordered everything I possibly could afford from China to be here. I think most of it landed like February, between the 15th and the end of the month. The last 2 weeks of February, everything landed in this country before any tariffs went in. Now, I am sitting on a freaking boatload of inventory my freaking accountant is screaming about. And I said, you won't be screaming about it when I can undercut everybody's price at Christmas.
$907.
Because right now you have to pay, I believe it's 55% over the 301, which is, I believe, 10%. I'm not big on the tariffs. I just call my guy and say, how much is it per piece for me to bring it in at this point?
So in the pause, that didn't pause the de minimis, though, right? The de minimis is gone. Is that?
I believe the de minimis is gone. I don't know. I really don't follow it close enough. I got my own. I live in a bubble now, guys. I'm going to be 60 in January. My life is over. I want to enjoy what I got left.
You never thought you'd make it this far?
No, I never thought I'd make it past 30. But I want to enjoy what I got left, so I'm not out there worrying about who's doing what to who, and I need to make sure I have enough income to pay for everything I need or want. But as far as no, I get Harlan. I get that. I do get that. I'm not saying that I'm dying next week. What I'm saying is more than half my life is gone, and I just don't care. I want to live in my little bubble. Unless it affects my little world, I don't give a shit what you guys do. I don't care what Trump does. I don't care what Israel does. Unless I'm going to Israel, then I'll worry about it. But I don't care what frickin' Iran wants. None of it. John, what is your idea?
I don't know that anybody knows what 2026 is. You got to get through what happens with the tariffs first.
Here's where I'm at with 2026, 2027. I started probably during Trump's first term. He brought in the 301. He brought in some tariffs that are still around. He paused a few. There are tariffs that are still in place from when he was in. And I said, this guy's going after China. I want to be American made. So I have very little product from China. I have American made. I'm focusing on American made, and I'm focusing on products that I can manufacture. I'm actually looking at manufacturing toothpicks. I will tell you because I don't know if I'm going to be in it or not. The idiot in Las Vegas is out of business.
What happened to him?
He just freaking lost it. He lost the business. He just up and closed one day, I guess, because he's gone. He's off Amazon. There's one listing left on Amazon. It's mine. I got 5 packs of toothpicks left.
It was a good product.
I know. I was making a lot of money. So
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 MC,
you're going to compete with Procter and Gamble and all the big hitters in toothpaste?
he said toothpicks.
Oh,
pick
toothpick. Sorry.
Uh,
cinnamon toothpicks.
so MC, the one thing I tell you, if you're tired of AI, the one thing you can't let the you can be tired of it, but you can't. That don't lead to ignoring that because your competition may be tired of it, but they're trying to put their boot on your throat. Hey, Gandalf is into the chat. Good morning, Gandalf.
What the hell's Gandalf?
Beard King.
Barry King. Are you watching that last night, Ty? He looks like Gandalf.
I watched the replay, yeah.
Landshark, what he did was actually different than every other cinnamon toothpick, and it also caused it to be a stronger
Yeah,
flavor in the toothpick.
it lasted all the time.
I know the process. I know what he did. I know how to do it. I just don't know. I don't know that I want to do it anymore. Do you guys use
There you
ChatGPT?
go, Alan.
I have 4 paid ChatGPT accounts. Not only do I use it, my employees use it. And their goal is to put themselves out of a job with the use of AI. The more they use AI, the less they have to work, and I pay them the same money. Speaking of which, my niece will be in Houston, Texas when?
22nd of July.
The 22nd of July. She is 8.
Yes.
She's 8 years old. She qualified for the floor exercises at the Junior Olympics.
Very nice.
Nice. Jacob, he didn't have enough water for sticks to grow out there. Or are you gonna make the sticks out of toothpicks?
Oh, he wants me to grow his trees to make the toothpicks.
Hey, whatever works. Jacob's always thinking.
Yeah, Biff, I think you're right. I think that is very tiresome. I have a secret video.
Hold on. Somebody's Harbor Hopes is saying, I think it's funny when at 50 to 60 years old you think life's over. I didn't say that my life was over in the terms of me dying. My life is over as a reseller. I'm done with the. I'm at the point where I want to coast the rest of my life. I don't want to pound the pavement. I thought I was going to work until I was dead. So now that I can enjoy myself and I have enough that I don't have to work, I don't want to work.
No, Biff, I think you're right. I think the part about the talking about using of AI and how it can help you in your business, and really fleshing it out and having good discussions I'm not tired of that subject. I very rarely even mess with it yet, so I'm about to start though. So y'all better watch out. Like this week start. I think I've heard enough of it, and I think there's enough uses for it.
Let me run down some things I've done with AI. Everybody knows I advertise PPC. I have calculated how to generate the best PPC clicks for me, how to find negative keywords, how to adjust my bids and all that. I created a chat that I take and download a file from Amazon, feed it to ChatGTP. It then works in that file, creates another file, gives it back to me, and I upload it to Amazon. It takes me all of 10 minutes. It makes all the adjustments for me based on my logic and reasoning that I have in my PPC systems.
Something that used to take you
Hours.
because you couldn't it's hard to get through every single product like that because you'd have to look at everyone individually and every.
and based on how much my profit margin is on this product. So I was able to take all those rules that I applied manually, put it into a single chat GTP agent, and I only use that agent for that one thing.
And that's
And I
well worth
give it a file, and it gives it back to me.
for $20 and then let me get you don't do it. What's the name does it?
No, I do it right now because I want to just keep an eye
Okay.
on it. But no, it will be an Alejandro job.
But that $20 a month is well spent. The time that you get back is amazing.
And now you can take an image and put it in. Now you don't need this for eBay, but you can put an image in Chat GPT and tell it you need lifestyle images for Amazon. It will take the product, remove the background, and put it into lifestyle images for you. Now, you have to program Chat to do that for you. This isn't, just feed it an image and it's done. You have to learn how to do this stuff. So am I active in my business? Yes, I'm going to keep what I have, but I'm not out there looking. I'm not looking to be at 5 million or 10 million in sales. Those days are long behind me.
So who did that when you were on the cruise?
Do what?
Did you have enough internet to play with that on the cruise?
Yeah. Yeah, it's slower, but yeah, I can play with it.
So do you only get that report once a day from Amazon? Is that a daily thing? Just do it once a day and you're
No,
done?
I do it once a week right now.
Right.
About the end of July, I'll be able to do it twice a month. My PPC is built by AI. I give it the product and the keywords, and it spits out the campaign in Excel, and I just upload the Excel, and it creates the campaigns with the bid, all the figures, everything I need to start. It's all done for me. I've learned how to use chat. I'm not smart. So don't come to me and say, how do I do this with chat? I ain't got a freaking clue. It's just like everything else I've done. I've learned enough to operate my business. And that's my job as CEO of this company, is to run the company, to learn enough to be able to operate this company. I hire people smarter than me to do that stuff. The next step is automation. There's a guy in here that talks about automation that has automator in his name. In time, I'll be able to take that report from Amazon, download it. It will be downloaded automatically on a schedule, upload it to Chat GTP. It'll do the work. It'll send it back, and it'll upload back to Amazon. I won't even have to touch it. I eventually will need less than 20 hours of total labor in my business. But I've thought about doing a morning show once a week on how I use chat in my business and how you can apply it in yours. One of the first things you got to do is understand how to use it. It's not fucking Google. Stop asking it questions.
Yeah, it's a prompt. It's not a question. You need it to do a function. You don't need it. I mean, you can't
ask it a question. Go to Google.
Because it's built into Google. If you got a question, Google. I bet that's probably a good tip, John, because every time you ask it something, it's got the memory of you, and so it can skew your results over time if you're just asking it silly questions or.
And the more you use one chat, the thing is you got to change. You got to make a fresh chat because you can't. What's the word I'm looking for? You confuse its memory by asking it different subjects. You got to think of it as a 2-year-old where you have to Ask it one question. What color is this crayon? If you go over the kitchen items, you need to start a fresh chat because it's going to think you have an orange pot. If you show it an orange crayon and say, this is an orange crayon, and ask it, what color is this pot? It may tell you the pot's orange because you've clogged its memory. And this is something people don't understand. It can do one thing at a time. If you look at automation, if you look at N8N, it's these things come out with these big elaborate, they look like these big elaborate things to do one thing, like write a blog post. It takes 150,000 steps. It's because they don't want to clog the memory along the way. It's something that'll work for an infinite amount of time because it's doing the same thing over and over again, like tap, like the finger tap box thing. It's the same principle.
Needs a refresh. It's called open a new window.
Open a new chat.
Yeah.
Now you can use the same chat and say clear memory. Like if you're asking it questions about something, I have one that's called Think Tank for when I'm thinking out, ideas or whatever. I call it Think Tank. And as soon as I go and tell it to start doing something, it stops. It says, stop, warning, this is a think tank. We cannot do anything in here because it's programmed to think like me.
That's scary, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Correct. Timothy is right on point.
A lot of John robots running around.
You're laughing, but Agatha Christie, is she a famous writer?
Yeah, she's a novelist, mystery writer.
She's dead, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Her estate invested an astronomical amount of money into AI. You now can take a class on how to write mystery novels from Agatha Christie because they took all her information and loaded it into the memory of this AI program and developed a training program for you to learn how to write like Agatha Christie.
My friend is doing a similar thing with, I know a lot of you aren't familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, but he did a lot of horror stories back in the early 1900s. And he's got a YouTube channel that's just AI H.P. Lovecraft, but he's trained his ChatGPT on just H.P. Lovecraft, and it writes new stories. Now, he lets everybody know it's AI and everything.
I know everybody, I have a lot of people give me bad crap about my YouTube channel right now with the dad jokes with me and Sunshine. That is one script in chat that does that. And it does it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Does that entire thing. That's how I'm learning chat, is doing things like that. Are the jokes always good? No. Is my timing off sometimes? Yes. But it tells a dad joke every single time I ask it. I say one thing, my daughter does it. She types in next, and it does a whole series for my daughter to be able to create that dad joke without looking at it.
Besides her putting next in, is that whole thing automated now? Like,
yes.
It creates the cartoon and everything?
Well, the cartoon is, she does it manually, but I can do it in automation. She owes me money. She owes me money, so I can't automate it yet.
They're saying they can't hear you, Steve. Can you turn up your mic or?
He's sitting back.
You guys don't ever let me relax on this show. Jesus.
This is a fucking job. Pay attention.
He's got a headphone on. He needs to up the input.
Huh?
He's got a headphone on. He needs to go into the settings of that computer and up the input of the microphone.
Your mic's weak.
Well, I changed to the Snowball because everybody was complaining about the other one. Let me go
See,
in there
that's
right
where
now.
I don't give a shit. That's where you need my attitude, Steve.
Oh, I don't. But I mean, I want to give the people a good product here, so
I don't.
that's fine.
I don't really give a shit.
Where's sound on here?
Timothy, it's getting close to being here. VO3, it's amazing what it can create.
It can create a movie.
Oh, what changed? Something changed. Did somebody's air conditioner go off or something? My ear sounds a lot quieter now.
I have an air conditioner running. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm in an RV in Texas. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, mine's running, but it's way over there.
Well, mine's right there. One of them. One of three.
I don't hear yours, but
I'm getting ready to have 4. I'd like to do a show, but I would need a co-host. I would need somebody to like drug me in here every week. I'm not like Scott. I'm not dedicated to Wednesday morning sending a link.
Yeah, Snowball is up at its highest level, so I don't know what else to do.
no, it's in the settings of the computer. If you go under system settings,
That's where I'm at. Yeah, it's at the highest level I can get it. Input volume.
I would like to do a show on AI and e-commerce because I don't think anybody else is doing one like that. I mean, James is pitching his product.
multiple areas.
Listen, not that I wouldn't be doing the same thing if I was part of that, but since they cut me out and didn't even offer me a shot at angel investing.
So be glad you're not in Cincinnati because they're under a bull advisory because a night shift worker in the treatment facility had been working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. alone. They found him dead in a tank.
Ugh.
So if you live in Cincinnati and your water tastes different, that's just human flavor.
Yummy.
John, flipping ain't easy, Mike. Flipping ain't easy. You talking to me, Timothy? I think he is.
No,
he knows who.
So John talks about it, but he's getting the same thing that we're getting. That we don't want to hear about AI anymore because he reads all the comments. I'm like, just don't read the comments.
Yep.
Fuck the
It's
comments.
the easiest way.
I like reading the comments.
No, I read all the comments.
Now you want to rant.
But he reads everyone and comments on everyone.
I like John, but the reading of the comments shows they kind of bore me. I like the guy.
I read the comments but John gets a lot more than I ever will. So it just seems like it's a lot of time. You should know what your audience wants and thinks, but that's a lot of comments.
I think I could do it. I think I could pull off a chat AI, but it would be me. I mean, it wouldn't be. I'm telling you right now. Don't ask me about any other program other than what I do with chat. Don't ask me how to do something in chat if I don't know how to do it.
I'm going to find things that you don't know how to do.
James, would you quit tearing up the AI program so we can all get the listing? That's the only answer I've got, James, is because you're the main beta tester and they keep having issues. You keep breaking it, so it's your fault.
It ain't breaking. It ain't breaking. He don't want to put it out because it's doing so well for him.
No, James is just a beta tester. It's the other guys.
Oh, okay.
So James has to be on break.
It's still going to be a while.
That's my theory, anyway.
Like I do lives every Sunday on Whatnot. That's where I read my chat at nowadays.
See that right there? See that right there? That's what's going to happen in chat with these people like James and these guys with these programs and stuff. It's going to be
That's the sort of thing I was worried about with that.
That's the eBay's going to hold them up more than their software, because as they come out, as they update their software, eBay's going to be working on their updates, and it's going to interfere with their program. I'm not saying that it'll always be like that. I'm saying right now, with we are in the infancy of AI. I don't care. This is a world you've never seen before. This is a world that nobody's ever imagined before. I know we have, AI is going to take over the world. We had Matrix at one point. This is far beyond that, because I don't believe computers will run the world. I believe AI will always assist the human. You're going to be more of a Jetson type thing, with Robot Rosie and all. And the dog, the electronic dog you throw the bone for.
John, Automator, I think you're right. I think that's going to be an ongoing issue. Is because eBay's systems are older and more complicated. And Josh has talked about some of the things they've had issues with. Every time they change something, they're going to have a problem every single time.
Listen, Amazon's got the same issue. You just don't see it as much. What happens is like I used to do uploads and stuff on Amazon like 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when the world was asleep. It's about 3 o'clock Eastern time. Well, guess what? It's slow then. Their servers are slowing down, and it's because they need computers like they're building down the street here. It's supposed to be like 2 square miles underground. This area is booming right now because of this new supercomputer coming in here. But Beard, you don't need, Josh, don't get mad at me. Beard, you don't need their program.
Yeah.
I can create a chat for you in a day that will write your listings for you. Now, what they're doing with the API and all that, I can't do. But I can get it the right listings and increase your production of listings.
You could do it with the API if you understood how the API worked.
I got a guy that programs for NASA.
But it wouldn't be a day. It would be like what they're going through right now. It would be a long.
Yeah, and as long as the API is stable, like Amazon's APIs are stable, they have the same calls and stuff in their APIs. John, I'd love to talk to you about APIs because I don't fully understand it. And the one thing I need to understand to be able to finish my fully automated, I want my YouTube channel, just so you know, guys, where I'm headed. I want to have 10 jokes a day on my YouTube channel created by AI without me doing a damn thing. This way I can add, with 10 of those, I can add one ad a day for one of my products on Amazon. That is where I'm headed with that channel, is I'm looking to do advertising for my business. And Grumpy will be the sponsor of my products. I've always had an idea for what I was doing with that.
All right, Big Boys needs breakfast. I'm about to go eat breakfast. Y'all get a short show today.
Okay.
I have an observation to tell you after the show.
Hey, I want in the comments, should I start an AI channel?
No comments.
Let's play a song and tell you guys. Keep up with the channel. I'm making videos again. I know y'all are shocked. I've already got one for tomorrow. I'm trying to get ahead. So, any tips? Here's your tip.
Woke up to the grind, search bar in my brain. eBay's looking twisted, nothing feels the same. Margins bleed like oil, my listings disappear. AI scans my soul, whispering in my ear.